guest here today, Roger.
Yes, Craig Copeland with us. He's got the book Take Back America One Office at a Time. But first, we have
Melissa.
Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Is with us. She knows more about dogs than any 10 of us because she has been working with them for years in all capacities. Melissa, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Doing well.
We're both dog people, and one big question, why do people have dogs bite them?
And by the way, Melissa, my dog is listening in this morning, Zeke. I just want you to know that. Be careful.
Oh, great. I love that. Why do dogs bite them? Well, the biggest issue that people need to know is that they're different from us. So some things that we do mean one thing and mean something different to the dog. So that's what I run into a lot. It's just misperceptions between species.
Okay.
Wow.
Suppose you are meeting a new dog. Your advice in the book is a little different than the advice that many of us have been given to stick out your hand and stand still and all that sort of thing. How do you greet a new dog in a new environment?
Well, what's really great is that if you look at dogs, they tell you how to do things. And one of the things they wouldn't do is they wouldn't sniff each other's paws when they're meeting for the first time. They wouldn't. Yeah, they actually sniff private parts, which we don't want to do.
No.
So the next best thing that I found is to tap the side of your leg like you're wagging your tail. Because the dog actually wants to know, who are you? Are you friend? Are you foe? Or are you prey by how you act? So tapping your leg and acting friendly tells the dog that you're friend, and then ask the dog itself, do you want some interaction with me? Often we don't ask the dog at all. We ask the owner, can I pet your dog? But the dog might not want to be petted.
That's right. So you also recommend talking in a high-pitched voice. Demonstrate how you'd talk to me if I was a dog and you're just feeding me.
Oh, that's great. I have such a high pitch, so watch out. I would be like just saying, yay, hi, happy, good dog, yeah.
Okay.
So high pitch.
Okay. Roger, let's see you. Hi, happy, good dog.
Okay, that's enough, Roger.
Hey, listen, a practical question. When we got our little dog, Zeke, he was already about 6 months old, and it was obvious that he had had some trauma, obviously, in that first 6 months. And he still, now it's 10 years later, and he still is very distrusting, even of me, his master. He respects me and all that, but there are times when I want to pick him up, and he still will not let me pick him up. He'll just kind of shuffle off, just out of reach. He wants me to. Is there any way of breaking that? One of the things I discovered is if I get on the floor with him, it's better. I don't know if that has anything to do with it getting on his level, but he obviously, someone either hit him hard or something. And I was wondering, is there a way, even at 10 years old, we can overcome this?
Sure, definitely. One thing is the high-pitched voice. So when you're reaching down, use that high. It's a comforting voice, too, and it sends off endorphins for dogs. And there's a misperception that a dog might have been hurt or beaten by somebody, and that's why they're acting that way. But it's a phenomenon called fight or flight, and it's a safety survival phenomenon, and each of us has a different set point level. And one of the things that happens with dogs is that they're different from us. So if we get into a crowded elevator, we've conditioned ourselves to kind of manipulate our fight or flight response. So we wouldn't expect a whole bunch of strange dogs to get into an elevator and just stand still and not look at each other.
No, they'd be twisting around doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, they'd have a problem with that. So we don't really look at things in terms of, are we putting our dogs into fight or flight? And some of the dogs that have a low set point, they're really weary. They're weary anyway, just like nervous people. And it serves them well out in the wild. A lot of behaviors serve them well in the wild, and unfortunately now they live with us. So
give me some pointers here. What should I do?
Tap your leg, invite them to come over, happy talk. The leader exercises in my book, lots of free stuff on the website and in the book as far as...
You have your book. It's a great book, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. So great tips in there. But tell him about what's going on. And sometimes those types of dogs need a lot of support. Going in and out of places, going to something different. We need to be telling them everything's great. And the funny part about people is that sometimes we think people will think we're being weird if we're telling our dogs stuff about their environment.
So you're training people, not dogs, which is awesome.
Yes, definitely. It's a different species.
Worth more than 10,000 dogs. You were a Massachusetts animal control officer from 93 to 98. You're a national dog bite consultant. So you know something about these dogs. Kids tend to hug dogs and lay on them and do a variety of things with them. That doesn't always work out, does it?
I'm so glad you brought that up. Hugging is one of my top pieces of information that I say to parents. Please teach your children not to hug dogs because they don't hug each other. So if they're not hugging each other, it doesn't mean I love you, I comfort you, I care for you. It actually is a dominating thing. It's a control thing. So one of the fun things about dogs is that most people know that they live in a hierarchy. So somebody's on top, and then there's, a place, a rung for everybody. Yeah. Well, what does that mean?
And private dogs,
Yeah. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you're above the dog in status, they'll submit to what you ask them to do. But if they think they're above you in status, they'll see that if you're trying to do something, it's insubordination. And just like in the military, you get punished, dogs within their group and in their families often will discipline somebody who's being insubordinate. So they can.
Natural.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard for them to go, okay, they're with people now, so you have different rules with people. They actually are just animals. They're very limited, so it's best for us to understand how to act with them. And so hugging is one of those things where if you're above them in status, they'll submit to it. If you, I have a video on my YouTube channel about me hugging my dog, and all of a sudden he stiffens up. He doesn't like it. So.
Well, listen, I have a grandson that's 2 years old. He loves our little dog, but I can tell you right now, Zeke does not like him. And matter of fact, Zeke will show his teeth and growl every time he comes around. Is it better for us when our little grandson comes over, because he loves the dog, he wants to be around him. I now put Zeke on the back porch and I separate them because it just doesn't work. Is that still the best thing to do, probably?
That's a great thing to do. Dogs are programmed for when you're not paying attention. When your grandson comes over, all of the attention is on your grandson. So sometimes your dog can get jealous about that. They are competing with each other over resources, so they compete with us over resources, which could be food or attention. So that's one thing to do. I would also recommend doing something that would be fun for both the dog and your grandson, like going for a walk.
Okay, Melissa, we're out of time, and I want to get your plug in here. People Training for Good Dogs is the name of the book, and what is your website, by the way?
It's just the letters for People Training for Good Dogs, so PTFGD.com.
God bless you. Hey, have a good day, Melissa.
You too.
Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
IRN, USA Radio. I'm Mark Thomas. Congress is in a rush to show some bipartisanship given its low